Okay, we should be live. I'm just gonna wait till any comments come in. Yeah, should be live. So welcome everyone to another live stream. This is the supposed kind of regular live stream as part of Bacon DAO, but also hosted by myself, Virtual Bacon. We do this stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, right around this time. And yeah, just to go over the market, whatever I'm looking at, right? The most interesting stuff. Obviously, we'll always keep an eye on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin dominance because that kind of drives the entire market and is very, very important. But aside from that, today, just this morning, actually, we were watching the Sub-Zero Polkadot conference, developer conference, and it is official. The Polkadot slot auctions have been announced and they will be live. The first one will be starting on November 11th. And it will go on actually the first 10 or 11 slots, actually. I'm not sure. I got to look into it. Once a week, right? So every 7 days, there's a new auction, just like what happened with Kusama crowdloan slot auctions. So this is the main event that will be major moneymakers for the next 3 to 6 months. So I will be doing a lot of deep dive today and probably in the next couple streams as well on this topic. So yeah, just because if I don't mention your altcoin, nothing against it, right? But it's just like I cannot cover 1,000 altcoins, right? It's a good time to be in altcoins, but yeah, I see a question already. How do you get into crowd loans? I'll go over that, right? It's also a learning process for all of us. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. That will be a lot of the focus for today. Because it is the thing that is honestly the easiest moneymaker, in my opinion. So that's what we should focus on, right? That's our goal here. So yeah, so without further ado, let me go ahead and share screen. And I'll do this research with all of you guys here. So bring up Twitter. Actually, first off, let's just take a quick look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin dominance, right? Because that is relevant. So here we go. So I actually have a dots chart here, but let's go back to Bitcoin first. So still looking so far so good, right? We had these, I believe these higher highs and higher lows drawn these levels from Monday, I think. Yeah. So 2 higher lows, the third higher high is being printed above the previous higher high at 52.5K. So far so good, right? In a uptrend, right, we need series of higher highs and higher lows for the uptrend to be healthy and continuing. So no matter where this higher high tops out, right, in the very, very short term, right, local top, it's going to be higher than 52.5K, right? So regardless, this is an uptrend. This is a healthy uptrend for Bitcoin, which sets the stage for kind of all of our analysis is Bitcoin being healthy. So it is healthy. That's pretty much all we need to know. I'm not really keen on focusing on Bitcoin here because, yeah, you can try to ride it, but there are so many good opportunities as long as the market is healthy. I'm not too keen on spending too much time on this. You can make an entry around 52.5 retest of this previous higher high, but the risk to reward there is not that great. So yeah, it's just mostly to keep an eye on this, and it's healthy. So let's move on to altcoins. So next up, let's look at Ethereum. Just keep an eye on that as well. Also looking good, right? As you can see here, this past week or so, Ethereum has been showing kind of even more signs of weakness, right? When Bitcoin rallied from 55 to 57, Ethereum did a bit of sideways week, which is yet again another bad sign for Ethereum. Now, Ethereum's dollar value is still going up, right? And if you made an entry around kind of 3K range, it's good. It's good, but very like even more than before, we're seeing kind of overall like TVL user and all kinds of outflow from Ethereum. Ethereum's technology is still there. The EVM stack and kind of this like AMM stack pioneered by Uniswap and Yearn Finance pioneered kind of yield farming aggregator. Like all of these technologies are like already set in stone on top of the EVM stack, which is getting implemented on all kinds of other ecosystems. So the technology is there, and Ethereum is still the core settlement layer. So that's why, like, I don't. Ethereum will not die, right? Ethereum will survive just as much as Bitcoin in the very very long term. So that's why I always look at Ethereum and I always hodl Ethereum for the very long term. But at the very short term or even medium term, it's not a great return in terms of altcoin market because there's just so many good better opportunities. So yeah, that's my view on Ethereum. Dollar wise, around the 2.9K level was our entry target right here, which was the previous resistance here, support here. So good bounce thus far, but again, it's even lagging behind Bitcoin. So, it's another sign of, okay, it's not great. Risk to reward wise right now. And we can see that much more clearly with ETH BTC chart. We were watching this higher low here at 0.065 for the ETH versus Bitcoin ratio to hold. It didn't hold. So really bad sign here for Ethereum's kind of adjusted return, you could say, because it has higher risk than Bitcoin. So still holding Ethereum for the long term, but short term, not treating this as a good opportunity because there's tons of altcoins that are outperforming Bitcoin. Those should be our focus right now. So yeah, that's Ethereum. And then Bitcoin dominance. So still not really a long-term reversal yet. Ever since beginning of the year, right, we've had this very long-term alt season since January of this year up to May. And then we had a May correction for about 2 months. And then another kind of 1 month long alt season, 2 month long alt season before much of this alt season has been reverted, not actually in altcoins dropping in value, but in just Bitcoin pumping in value while altcoins are staying still. So this is a good sign for the entire market. As how the money flows in crypto in general, when Bitcoin pumps and altcoins are staying still, once Bitcoin has reached its kind of local top and starts to go sideways, that money will flow into altcoins. So overall, this is a much better scenario than like the correction we had here because this was due to Bitcoin dumping, while this part is due to Bitcoin pumping. So sooner or later, that money will flow into altcoins. So that's why I'm not worried about altcoins. Still just trying to pick the winners that are holding well against Bitcoin and getting positioned right now. And that's going to be, I think, mostly DOT ecosystem and some of the DeFi plays that we have been watching a lot already. I'm still holding those, like Joel Synapse, Spell, Ice. Those are the main ones, I think. I must be missing a couple, but yeah, you get the idea. But yeah, so Bitcoin dominance. I'm still watching this key level here at 47.5% range, which if you zoom out to the weekly chart, this is kind of the neckline here that was tested 3 times. So on a weekly scale, if we flip 47.5%, then this can actually be seen as a double bottom here, and especially a breakout of this neckline on a weekly time frame, right? So if we get one of these like weekly bars to close above 47.5%, then that will be a clear confirmation, in which case there could be a longer term reversal in Bitcoin dominance where altcoins are lagging behind Bitcoin. So I'll put more money into Bitcoin and take those profits from altcoin. Hasn't happened yet, right? So I'm still not acting on this just because this is still very short term until it gets confirmed for the long term. So yeah, watching 47.5%. If we get weekly close above it, or let's say 2 to 3 days daily close above it, then that will be a signal to act on, but hasn't happened yet. So I'm still going by the same analysis as before, which is we are in a long-term alt season, short-term correction. So now is the time to pick up altcoins before the next altcoin rally, right? So that's Bitcoin dominance analysis. And then let's just move straight into Polkadot parachains because this is the main event. So yeah, so Polkadot parachains have been announced. If you just go to the official Polkadot Twitter, so earlier today there was the Sub-Zero event that was again the developer conference that a lot of people were watching, right? Which coincidentally on October 13th was the last day that the Kusama parachain auctions stopped, and the last dog was auctioned off and finalized. So a lot of people were speculating, and it is true, and it did turn out. So Polkadot is ready for parachain launch. Auction dates proposed. Let me just mute my phone here. Let's go into this, right? So you can follow the tweet thread. This has all the dates already, but I haven't read this official Medium article yet. So let's look at this. This might be Subsocial, if not Medium. What is? Oh, this is their official website. Okay, so Polkadot is ready for parachain auctions launch. Auction dates proposed. So obviously this still has to be passed through their governance process, but most people that will vote in this, they will want it sooner than later, right? So I doubt that there will be any delays. I highly doubt it. So yeah, the multi-phase launch process started on May 26, 2020, and now they are proposed to begin with the first slot auction on November 11th, 2021, which is this year and in about 30 days. In about, I think it's 4 weeks, right? Something like that. So, so they also have to launch the state mine network first, which is the common goods network, just like the state mint. No. State mint is the Polkadot common goods network. State mine was the Kusama common goods network to issue the parachain tokens, right? So the Akala tokens, Moonbeam tokens, which is the Glimmer, is the token ticker. So this will happen like before November 11th, or like before the parachain tokens can be released. So they have put together Motion 118, which is the motion that needs to go through the governance process, right? You can actually, if you hold any Polkadot right now, you can go on Polkadot Assembly and vote for this. I'm sure like majority of people will support this, so there's not gonna be any problems here. First 5 auctions will start on November 11th. The second 6 auctions will start on December 23rd. So they're pretty much like right after. And the key, there's a little bit of difference from Kusama here because the first 5 will be every 7 days, while the 6th to 11th will be every 14 days. So there's like a 7-day auction, 7-day pause, 7-day auction, 7-day pause. I think that's what this is. Yeah. So yeah, so this is all the batches, right? November 11th to November 18th, November 18th, November 25th, etc. Every 7 days, no pauses. So winning parachains will be onboarded on December 17th for the period of from December 17th, 2021 for 2 years to December or 96 weeks to October 20th, 2023. So Polkadot parachains last for 96 weeks instead of 48, which is, so this is a key distinction. In Kusama's case, when you put your KSM down for the crowd loans, it's locked up for 48 weeks. On Dot's case, depending on the project, but most of them will have like a 96 week lock. Now, some of them already, they will give you some sort of liquid staked format that you can like actually sell still. So it really is up to the projects. But if they don't change anything, the DOT tokens natively will be locked for 96 weeks. So that's a key distinction. Yeah, so it looks like the first auction will go live on November 11th, but even the first parachain will be onboarded on December 17th. So I don't know when these tokens will be released. That will be a big date that we need to pay attention to. Some of them might be, okay, once they win, they will release the tokens and list it. Some of them will be, okay, like when the parachains go live. So really depends. So that's a date that's important here, December 17th as well, aside from November 11th. Yeah, and as you can see, up to auction 11, this will last till March 3rd. So exactly the next 2 quarters will be Polkadot's time to shine. This is just like I said, the next 2 quarters will be all Polkadot. Like this is the main play, the main narrative, the main network that will take will be the biggest event in crypto for the next 2 quarters. In terms of network effect, in terms of like the kind of launches that will be there. Okay, so that's the gist of the high level kind of announcement and date period that we can look at. And now, right away, let's look at Polkadot price. So we are already breaking out from this previous range that we said, I'm accumulating within, right? 2 setups here. If we get another dip, I'll buy at 28, or if we break out above 37, I'll buy on the retest here. So yeah, on this breakout, I already bought quite a bit of Polkadot today on this news. I don't know if we'll necessarily get any retests here, so I'm just literally just buying that market right now, like because this is not going to stop. Yeah, it's quite a safe play in my opinion because this just got announced today and is getting priced in as we speak. So remember that TikTok I made $100 by the end of this year. I think that's a very, very conservative target. I wouldn't even be surprised if it were $100 by November 11th when like DOT auctions start. So yeah, I'm just pretty much market buying Polkadot here, like because you can also have like a stop loss below this previous low here, $27, right? So even that, like risk to reward wise, just pure technicals, not accounting for the fundamental news, a 40% stop loss, like potential loss, in comparison to stuff like Solana, Cardano. This is better, like even just the risk to reward there. So yeah, really quite a no-brainer. So I'm heavily buying Polkadot today. So yeah, not much of a kind of strategy, just kind of market buying. There will be dips. Obviously, if it comes back down to retest 37, I will have like way more conviction and just slam buying at that level. But I'm slowly getting in, right? So, and even at just market levels, because I don't want to miss this train. Okay, so that's DOT price very quickly. Now let's go into some specifics for DOT crowd loans. Let me add this banner here. Okay, so there's this handy website called parachains.info. I hope they have updated some of their stuff already because this is literally what they do. Okay, so auctions, I believe. And Polkadot, here we go. Yeah, so they updated the schedule already, right? Polkadot auction schedule right here. You can go on parachains.info and follow all this. They are one of the first and fastest to update this, right? So We know that Akala has a waitlist open. Before, it was only a waitlist, right? If you click onto this link, I suggest everyone to at least join this waitlist. I personally have joined. This will give you, because a little bit of 7% bonus in the Akala, in the crowdloan. Now, you don't necessarily have to commit to Akala, right? Depending on their tokenomics, there might be better ones like Moonbeam or whatever. Depends. But just being in the waitlist right before it ends, like just in case you want to, this is a really good. You should definitely do this. So yeah, make sure you join the Akala crowdloan waitlist. And today they did announce their liquid crowdloan dot, right? So I haven't read this fully, so I'll go into this with you guys. So right off the bat, this would mean that they have some sort of mechanism where even though the official dot is locked up when you contribute to the Akala crowdloan, you will get some sort of like a staked or locked version that Akala issues to you, which will grant you the unlocked version in 2 years. So technically, and that version is tradable, right? So technically, like this should trade similar to dot price. So I'd imagine like this will be a popular way for a lot of these projects to launch, because you put a dot down, you can help the Akala crowdloan, you get the Akala tokens, and technically you can sell your liquid version, or like sell that for more dot and contribute to other crowdloans, maybe in the second batch, if this lists before. So this is definitely a popular way. So I think this will attract more people. So let's see. Let's walk into this. Purchase law auctions have been officially announced on November 11th. Okay. Preparing for Akala crowdloan. Okay, let's read this article actually, see if there's any tokenomics. And I actually have a spreadsheet here that I did some numbers before. So I think the main things here, aside from just what type of projects you want to support, like Moonbeam is the EVM bridge and EVM compatible network. You have like Equilibrium doing stablecoin. You have Akala doing stablecoin and some DeFi stuff. Astar doing like a DeFi hub. Aside from the fundamentals, I think what's more important here is the tokenomics, right? How much are they putting down in terms of their total supply to reward the crowdloan participants? And what's the vesting schedule? And if they have something special that allows you to get your locked dot back in like what Akala just proposed here. So this is what I'm going to be, putting most of the research down here in the spreadsheet. So yeah, this was just speculation before, so I'll actually confirm these now that there have been announcements. So let's see. In this article, over 138,000 people signed up for the waitlist. What are crowdloans? A brief refresher. Get ready for the checklist. Get the browser extension. Yeah, I'll make more tutorials on how to do this actually, but that's like separate videos. We shouldn't go over that on this call. Make sure you have dots, checklist review, different ways to participate. Yeah, so this is definitely a good article to check out already. It walks you through kind of the overall process. Even if you don't want to support Akala's crowdloan, this will help you be able to support a lot of the other crowdloans as well. So yeah, check this out. But okay, let's move on to the next article. In preparation for the slot auctions, they will receive Akala tokens. A common concern is the long duration of the lock on their dot. Fortunately, the Akala team has a solution. Okay, introducing liquid crowdloan dot, LC dot. So with LC dot, contributors can utilize an unlocked token representing their dot contribution to the crowdloan in Akala's DeFi protocols. Instead of losing access to the underlying dot liquidity for 2 years, the liquid crowdloan dot will be able to collateralize for self-service loan in a USD stablecoin or trade trustlessly in Akala's AMM style DEX. Yeah, so right away, you put DOT into Akala's crowdloan. If you do, you will get this LC DOT token back. And you can, because Akala has DeFi stuff, you can put that into lending protocol on Akala and borrow, let's say, like 50%, maybe 70% of stablecoins against it. Or you can sell it on Akala's DEX for some stablecoin or for more DOT, right? And then you can use it, or you can sell that for cash if you want to. So this is really good. Here's how it works. So for each DOT contributed, you will receive an LC DOT. You can use it in DeFi. You can redeem it, right? If you want to keep it for 2 years, right? And then redeem the underlying locked DOT when it's unlocked. Right, so here you go. So you contribute, you will receive the Akala tokens anyways. You will receive this crowdloan DOT. If you wait 2 years, you can redeem the underlying DOT when it's unlocked, or you can swap it early for other coins, more DOT, etc. You can use it in DeFi. I'm not going to go through this because that's like pretty clear what it does. Okay, sign up for updates. Yeah, so sign up for the there's a Akala crowdloan quests. Where is this? Did I miss this? I want to do this because this gives you 7% extra bonus. Did I miss this? Quest. Where is this? I don't see it. Maybe. So yeah, how you can definitely join the newsletter, but maybe in the newsletter there's something like tasks you can complete to give you a bit more bonus. I gotta check it again. I only joined the waitlist, but I'll do more digging on that. But yeah, you can get up to 7% bonus by doing this. And then yeah, that's it. They didn't announce any more tokenomics as far as I can tell here. Akala Quest. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is good. Akala ecosystem update, liquid staking products, ecosystem update. Okay, so nothing before. Let's check this Akala Quest. Akala Quest. Prepare for the Akala crowdloan and earn more rewards. Additional perks for waitlist registrants. So earn XP. So there's some tasks you can complete, and then you can earn 2% bonus on contributions, additional 5% for referrals. Okay. Right. And then there are some quests here. Explore the quests and start playing. What does this look like? Yes. Okay. Okay. It teaches you how to create a Polkadot account, verify your email, use your wallet to hold DOT, contribute to the crowdloan, claim your NFT and rewards. Yeah. So it teaches you, stuff to do in the Polkadot ecosystem, the wallet, etc. So really good stuff. And you get bonus in the crowdloan. So I'm definitely going to do this. I'm not sure if I will contribute to the Akala crowdloan, but I will definitely do this. So right away, I will put more information in the sheet here. Right, so this were guesses. I know the Karura, so I took kind of guesses based on token supply for some estimate tokenomics for Akala, but let me do a bit more info here. So Akala quests, complete tasks to earn extra 7% ACA in crowdloan. So this is really good, right? Especially if you're putting down like large sides in the crowdloan. This is really good. Okay. And I'll also put the link here. Boom. Okay. And let's see if they release any official tokenomics here. Akala token. Akala is a utility token that powers the DeFi hub of Polkadot. Let me actually change this. Crowdloan. Yeah. So here's the tokenomics a little bit. So there's 10 billion, 1 billion max supply. We knew this. Fixed deflationary distribution. Here we go. Something interesting. Oh, parachain auction token details. ACA will be rewarded participants who support parachain auction with DOT. Upon receipt, a portion of this account will be unlocked and transferable, while the remaining portion will be vested and released gradually over parachain slot duration, which will be 2 years or 96 weeks, a little bit less than 2 years. So for every 1 DOT contributed, they will receive at least X and TBD percentage. Yeah, so they haven't released the percentages here yet. So no specific tokenomics. They'll probably make an announcement in the next couple of days, right? Few days at least, to let people prepare. So my guess is that there are some signs that we can already like make estimated assumptions from. So there is a Akala token sale, like a pre-sale or more like a community event, because it was only like very limited to their community members that were whitelisted and were alerted, and there wasn't any like big VCs. You can only put in a tiny amount each, but that's a good starting point for the information that we can use to estimate a crowd loan. So here. So they had a small sale back in August, and it was for old friends and like verified community members. And each person could contribute maximum 40 DOT here, a maximum, what was it? Oh, no, this is, okay, 40 DOT here, and then in the open round, 80 DOT. So that's 120 DOT times, let's say $30, $25. So $3,000, right? So, yeah, so maximum anyone could have put in was $3,000, which is not that much, right? In the grand scheme of things, definitely not a VC's amount. And you see the price was between 0.032 DOT and 0.035 DOT, which DOT's price in August, right? If you look here, was like let's say $25, right? So where is it? Where is it? Okay, $25 times 0.033, right? So like $7.50. No, 0.75. Yeah, 0.75 cents. Right, that's accurate. It should be accurate. 1/3. Yeah. 75 cents per DOT per Akala that they did in the last community round, right? So that's what I put here. I'm pretty sure. Okay, I put $1. So it's even less than that. It's actually just 75 cents per Akala, and about 3K max ticket size. And these tokens had 3-month vest. So when we do in the valuations, right, we know that the Akala total supply is already there, which is 1 billion, right? So this round previously for their community was at a $750 million total diluted market cap. That's the valuation that we know for sure, right? So because that was a pre-sale round for their like OG community, the crowd loan most likely their estimate is going to be higher than that valuation. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense. For like their community will be mad, right? So we can assume that the crowd loan will be at least $750 million plus, right? TDV. That we can assume, right? So that would be bottom line price 75 cents per Akala plus, right? For the crowd loan. Now this is I'm talking price here, but in DOT, but because you technically don't lose the DOT, so I'm saying price, but it's how much DOT you put down, not how much DOT you spent, right? So because all of them go through the same mechanism, I'm not including like the how much money you're getting back in the DOT, right? Because they all have the same mechanism, right? So we just when compare these crowd loans, let's just say like it's like buying into a token sale, right? Even though it's like you only commit to lock it, not spend it. So bottom line price is 75 cents per Akala. So right away, the Akala valuation in crowd loan will be at least $750 million, right? So that's decent. Not great, but pretty good, right? Akala is a total diluted, like something like $10 billion. Reasonable, not far fetched. Definitely not far fetched. It's arguably the biggest network on Polkadot. So over like some few months, right, could be in that range, right? But what's more important here is like how much are you getting, right? So if you look at the Karura crowd loan, they only put out 11.5% of the total supply of Karura in the crowd loan. And since they raised $178 million, this translated to a price of around $15 per Karura. So in the Karura crowd loan, this gave the crowd loan participants a starting market cap of $1.5 billion in Karura that they were like technically investing in by locking their KSM, which was not great, right? Because Karura is the quaternary network. If this were Akala, even I don't know, like that would be still pretty high valuation. Like there's upwards potential, but still pretty high valuation, right? Looking at these pre-sale numbers, right? Because this pre-sale for Akala, the main network is only 750 million versus a Karura, the crowd loan for the smaller network was already at 1.5 billion. So right away you can see why Karura didn't do so well, because too many people put money in, but they were only putting out 11.5% of the total supply. So judging from that, right, now let's look at how much was in this. Let's see. So initial circulating token supply will be 68 million. So with a total supply of 1 billion, that's only 6.8%, which is very small, right? And how much did they release for the previous round here? Let's see. They didn't say too clearly. Was there a spreadsheet or somewhere? Okay. 10% private investors, 34% will be distributed as reward, and including 30% to IPO participants with detailed proposal in Section 7. So where is this? This is the white paper, I'm guessing. Okay, let's look into this. I hope you guys can bear with me because this is a truly deep dive because we need the numbers in order to know for sure like what valuation we're getting into, right? So that's actually very important, even for myself as well. Where can I find that document? Let's see here. This is kind of the process. Is there a white paper? Does that look like a white paper? White paper. Tokenomics white paper. Token economics. Here we go. As outlined in the white paper. Okay, so we can read this. And then here's the distribution, right? They just put this on the website as well. Here's the token schedule. First year parachain auction reward is 11% of supply, with 30% of which is liquid on launch. Okay, so this is actually live already. We know this. Okay, so that's so they will be putting out confirmed 11% release, 11%, 30% unlocked at TGE, right? This is according to the tokenomics. This is actually the first time I'm reading this as well. I never went as deep as this. So there's a tokenomics white paper. That's good. And the first year liquidity mining program is with 6% linearly distributed. Okay. So again, they are, yeah, they're launching first year parachain auction. Okay. Because the Polkadot crowd loan is technically 2 years. So I'm not sure, exactly how much they are releasing for 2 years, right? Might be some differences there. Let's see. Token economy working paper last updated actually last year. So reserved 11.62% will be reserved as a okay, no, not that one. Reward 34% will be distributed as reward. So IPO participants as proposed in section 7. Where's section 7? Distribution of Akala token as IPO initial parachain auction. This is what IPO stands for here. Reserve as IPO reward are planned to be distributed to IPO participants during the first 6 years. Okay, that's like because they did this paper last year, so they weren't sure. Be available. Akala token sold through public sales events will be distributed to participants immediately. Okay, so this is wrong one. Is there any numbers here? There's no numbers. Because this was literally a year ago, over a year ago. And at that point, like the Polkadot parachains weren't so clear yet in terms of how long the schedules are. Okay, so, but when did they last update this page? Build a call pre-registration close on blah blah. Update. The last update was in May. And IPO, no, parachain. Distribution. Okay. Distribution. When did they last update? I'm not sure when they last updated this part. I can probably find out on their GitHub if this Git book was public. But okay, so Akala's, what the fuck? No, this is not too up to date here, right? Yeah, because this was different from. I think this is a bit more concrete because it also have a graph already. I think good estimate would be 11%. Again, just looking at how they released the same amount for Karura, even though that's 1 year. So they will not release less than 11%. That we can know. But because like the parachain slots for Polkadot is 2 years, they might go up to as high as 22%. Yeah, I think the 30% released at launch will be most likely the case because this is how Moon River and a lot of other projects do it as well. That will probably be the number. So 30% unlocked is for sure, like most likely 90%, 70%, let's say. They'll release at least 11%, maybe 22%. I would hope it's the higher amount, but we don't know. So what's the numbers here, right? If they release 11%, and looking at how much they raised in Karura, which was 178 million, right? They will at least raise that much, right? Because Karura was the smaller network. Let's say they raised at least 178 million. So if they raise assume raise 178 million plus, right? Valuation TDV is again same as Karura in this case, 1.5 billion to if they end up releasing 22%, that's 750 million, right? So we have to keep an eye out on their official token website here, akala.network/akala/token for this number, right? This vesting, this percentage is most likely 30%. But this Akala reward here, you will have to really like pay attention. Yeah. Yeah, no, this liquid percent will be 30%. This percentage, yeah, this is the main thing. This percentage here, if it will be at least 11%. Will it be higher? The higher it is, the better the tokenomics, right? Because then like the valuation goes down. But I would say this is between 11 and 22%. If it were 22%, it would be really good because then if Akala raises 178 million, that would still only be 750 million total diluted valuation, which is really not much, right? Because you got to consider like Akala, Moonbeam, Astar, these guys are going to be listed on Binance like day one, most likely. And Coinbase and Binance are their main investors in their like second round. So I really would not be surprised if Akala and Moonbeam are listed even on Coinbase, like within first week. Would not be surprised at all. Like these are huge projects. So keep that in mind. So I don't think 750 million TDV is anything big. If you consider like Moon River, right, started at 250 million TDV, and it still did a 10x, like more than 10x. So current total dilutive market cap, right? If we go on CoinGecko for what's it called, Moon River, right? Just the benchmark for the sister network or the smaller network for Moon River, right? This is, keep in mind, this isn't listed on Binance, not on Coinbase, only on KuCoin, right? This total diluted valuation is still 2.5 billion, right? So when you got into the Moon River crowd loan, right, the valuation was 250 million, right, which is 1/10 of this. This is where the 10x came from. So if Moon River can be valued at 250 billion, Akala and Moonbeam can for sure, like 99%, be valued at higher than this, right? Which means if you are getting into Moonbeam or Akala at 750 million total diluted valuation, that's a 3.5x at launch, right? Like pretty much guaranteed. Now, obviously, you only get 30% of your total tokens like unlocked day one. But you take that 30%, you time it by 3.5x, right away you get your initial investment back day one. You can sell that on Binance. And then you have every like month or 2 months, I don't know the release schedule, you get more and more Akala or Moonbeam tokens. And then like you also have your DOT that's locked up or the liquid version that you can sell. So like literally no brainer. If you can get into the top ones like Akala, Astar, Moonbeam at something like below 1 billion total diluted valuation, because these things will be 2.5 billion plus day one. I think there's no doubt in that. Just looking at how well Moon River did, people might argue that, oh yeah, like Moonbeam will do that, but Akala might not. But that's, you have to really dive into the Polkadot ecosystem to realize why. Because while Moon River really focused on their ecosystem right away, Akala mostly treated Karura as their test network. So this is why like pretty much nothing is being built on Karura right now. There's really not much. So Akala will not be the case, right? So keep that in mind. So yeah, I think Akala and Moonbeam, like bottom line, 2.5 billion total diluted market cap, day one or first week, no question. So yeah. So yeah, assuming that they release at least 111%, right? There's also this assumption here, how much they will raise. Now, if they end up raising $1 billion, it's not worth it anymore, right? So we still have to keep in mind for this. So you can already take like a preferred bet out of, let's say, the top 5 based on how much tokens they're releasing, right? Let's say Akala is releasing 11%. Moonbeam, I don't know, maybe they release like 30% again, which is like very unlikely. They'll probably only do like 17%. I think that's the number that like we already know. So you can already tell, okay, like if they raise the same amount, right? And then Akala releasing 11%, Moonbeam releasing 17%, then for the same amount of money raised, the valuation for Moonbeam will be smaller than valuation of Akala day one, right? So that's what we can come to with the estimate right now. But for the actual specifics, you really have to keep on the lookout for like stuff like parachain.info to see like, okay, how much they have raised. If you want a more up-to-date update as we get closer to like November 11th, when the slot auctions actually go live, you can go on Subscan for Polkadot and subscan.io, and then pick network Polkadot. And then, oh, they don't have a parachain part yet, but very soon at the very top here, you see, they will have a parachain dropdown where you click into it and you can see the leaders in the current crowd loans, just like on the Kusama page, right? So as like they start raising money, you can know, okay, how much have Akala raised, how much have Moonbeam raised. If there's a big distinction where Akala has raised a lot again, Moonbeam only raised a little bit, then you would know, okay, like Moonbeam undervalued, Akala a bit higher valued, then you would know which one to contribute to. But until it starts, we don't know how much they can raise. For all we know, they might raise $1 billion, in which case none of these will be worth it anymore. So that's another thing that we need to keep an eye out for. But there's only so much money in the total market, right? I highly doubt that Akala, Moonbeam, Astar, these guys can raise $1 billion. Maybe like 300 million, but in comparison to like other huge token sales, you know, like AVAX network, they raised like less than 100 million. I think they raised like 70. So, you know, so I don't know, like 100 million, 150, that's pretty high already, right? So I don't think top 5 will each raise 150. That's starting to push it. There's only so much money in the total market. So yeah, that's Akala. I'm really glad I found these numbers. Release probably 11 to 22%. At least 11, I would say at most 22. 30% unlock, most likely. So this would be like 700 million to 1.5 billion TDV, assuming raise 178 million. Right? And the price would be like between 75 cents to like $1.50 per Akala. I think that's a pretty fair assumption here. So given this, it's still pretty worth it, right? It's still pretty worth it if I can get in Akala, let's say at around 1 billion. 2.5x day one, right? I recoup most of my profits, most of my initial investment, and I get especially with this like liquid staking that they have. So token economy white paper. Yeah, no, we went over this already. Especially with this liquid, this one, right? This will mean that I even recoup my DOT day one. So let's say I put 100K down in DOT into Akala crowdloan day one. If I get in at $1 billion valuation, I get 30% times 2.5, 75% of, so I get 75K day one back in Akala. I get 100K back in DOT. I saw the DOT, I saw the Akala, I make 75% profit day one at listing. And over the next 2 years, I get more and more Akala every couple weeks, every 4 weeks, I think. That's great. That's like a literally no-brainer. I don't see why anyone would not do this. So yeah, only thing dependent is like how much they release and the valuation. Okay, so we went through a lot here. That's Akala. I do think Moonbeam is going to be their largest competitor for like the #1 slot, just because Moonbeam did really well in their Moon River round, like Moon River crowdloan. So let's just, now that I've rambled along already, let's also look at Moonbeam. But just very quickly, right? Because Moonbeam haven't announced any sort of liquid staking, liquid crowdloan. They haven't announced their token allocation yet either. But there is quite a bit of stuff that's already out. Moonbeam Tokenomics. Take flight. So for Moonbeam, first off, we have the Moon River, right? They raised 75 million, 78 million to be precise. Let's just say 75 for the whole number. 30% unlock TGE, 1 year linear unlock, right? So for Moonbeam, they did a 250 million valuation pre-sale. They raised only a tiny bit of money there. Actually, not tiny. They raised like quite a bit, but if you look at their tokens, Moonbeam token here, and here's some info, right? Launching Q4, right? In the next couple of days, they said they'll release the actual tokenomics for this, but this token will be called the Glimmer token. This is the native token for Moonbeam network. And oh, they took out the tokenomics here or something. That's funny. Moonbeam. They cannot hide this from me because I know. I think there's Moonbeam Pure Stake Foundation or something. Moonbeam Foundation Glimmer token. Here we go. There's another page for this. Yeah, so this site has more tokenomics. So 1 billion total supply. And I already put that here. I didn't yet. So 1 billion total supply. And they did a pre-sale again for their community, not like a pre-sale for VCs, right? But in their Take Flight event, which was last month. So let's look at the event details. So here they sold Moonbeam or Glimmer tokens at 25 cents per token. So assuming the 100, and you see like you have like max size here. So this is like community round, not a VC round. So at 1 billion total supply, again, this is $250 million valuation, right? So given the same analysis as before, we can assume that the crowd loan will be valued at least $250 million, right? So that's what I put here. And then they actually have a recent announcement telling us how much they raised as well. Let me just see if there are any numbers that we can take part here. Crowd loan. No, I don't think anything. Okay. Will there be a crowd loan? Yes, there'll be a crowd loan for details TBD. Okay. And then if we go to the news blog for the foundation, they did, so they raised 24 million from the community for the Take Flight event already. 9.8% of initial supply allocated to community, right? So here, pre-sale, this was 9.8% sold. And let's see. Glimmer token distribution, road to Moonbeam launch. Right. There is a read here. There is a total amount of tokens that will be for public sales. So we can take that number, we can minus the 9.8% here, and we'll get like how much total can be can be what's it called? Can be put in the crowd loan. So where is it? Let's see here. Parachain bond funding. Take Flight community event. Yeah, here we go. So Parachain bond reserve 0.5%. Parachain bond funding 17. 8% was initially planned for. Let me zoom in on this. 8% was initially planned for the Take Flight. Now the Take Flight took up 9.8, which means 17.5 minus 1.8. So like 15.6% left for kind of parachains. Obviously, they have treasury a little bit, right? So let's say 15% or so, 15 to 16%. Yeah, they can even take it from ecosystem development, right? So about around let's say 16% or 15% for a higher valuation, like conservative. About 15% release to release, right? Which means they are selling like, or in the crowd loan, they're distributing 150 million tokens at least. So for this, if they raise like, let's say same amount as Akala here, 178 million, This is too much numbers for me. So 178, right, million divided by 15% times 100%. This will give a valuation of 1.18 1.2 billion TDV, right? So knowing that they released 15% and kind of if Akala only releases 11%, Akala will be 1.5 billion, Moonbeam will be 1.2 billion, right? And keep in mind that in the Kusama crowd loans, right, the first batch, Karura was way more popular than Moonbeam. In fact, Karura raised 178 million. Moonbeam only raised 72, like 75, I think was the actual number at the time of the crowd loan because of the KSM price. So this is assuming Moonbeam just somehow like races, like really gets more popular because of Moon River and raises same amount as Akala. But I think a good estimate is probably they kind of split what they raised on KSM. So like 178 for Karura, 75 for Moon River, 250. So I think maybe they each raised like 125, 150. So if Moonbeam raises 125 million, that will only be $830 million TDV. Like now that's a good return. Right? So like Moon River, 2.5 billion valuation right now. Moonbeam, 100% will be higher than that, like day one, because people will see it. People will see, like, this is literally like, okay, Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash, right? Like, Bitcoin is going to be higher value than Bitcoin Cash. Obviously, bad example, right? But you get the idea, right? Tech-wise, they're very similar, but there's the same team, same technology, but bigger listings, bigger funding, right? So clearly, Moonbeam will be at least 2.5 billion. I would say probably 5 billion day one, which means if you can get in at something like 500 million, you're looking at a 10x at day one. If you can get in at 1 billion, that's like 5x day one. So 1 billion would be something like, it would be exactly $150 million raised for Moonbeam. That would be a $1 billion valuation. So right away, I already have a bottom line for and plan for Moonbeam is if they raise in the crowd loan less than $150 million, I will go in because I can do a 5x like first week. That's numbers, right? That's why I did so much numbers right now. So I have a plan now. Like Moonbeam, if they raise less than 150 million, I will go in. If they raise more than that, which is like gonna be quite expensive, but still, I can base off of this, right? If they raise 300 million, then it will be valued at 2 billion right away. Then I'm only looking at maybe 2.5x return once they do major listings. So yeah, that's plan for Moonbeam. Hopefully they raise less than 150 million. Hopefully not enough people have done the numbers. Yeah, so Moonbeam and Akala, there you go. If Akala comes out with this release schedule and they're saying, okay, we're going to release like 22%, oh man, that would be huge. That would be big plus for Akala, right? Because they have liquid staking, a liquid like unlocked dot. They raised more than Moonbeam, so they were more popular. Karura raised more than Moon River, right? So really hope Akala can announce that they will release more than 11%. If not, I will be looking at Moonbeam in comparison because they're releasing 15%, so better tokenomics. For Moonbeam side, I will look for a confirmation of this number, but pretty sure this is set in stone already. And I will look for maybe for them to say, okay, we are releasing liquid crowdloan dot. Also, I hope so. I don't know. I have no idea, but hopefully they do. Right? If they do, that would be really good, because that would make it just as competitive as Akala. All in all, you can tell, right, from how passionate I am about this, like how much I spoke about it. Why is this such a good opportunity for these networks? And I'll go through more, right, for these crowd loans. It's because these are multi-billion-dollar projects, super legit, super liquid. That they're going to be listed on Binance. Like, there's just no doubt. I don't. There's no way that they don't. And you, because of that, and because like you have the Kusama rounds already, you can have a very clear estimate as like a bottom line for the valuation. And then once you do all the numbers, you can very clearly see bottom line what your returns will be. And on top of that, because this is assuming that they raise hundreds of millions of dollars, so there's not going to be a shortage for allocations for like you putting in like 50K. That's why like I have no problem sharing all these numbers, because none of us is going to be able to like contribute. Oh, let's add $10 more million to this and like squeeze everyone out. Nobody on this call, nobody listening to my live streams have them. Like, even if we all put our net worth in there, yeah, it's like it's going to be a dent. So this kind of opportunity, right, that's uncapped and still good and liquid, is why I think this is so important to pay attention to. Because yes, the numbers takes a bit of digging, and you have to plan ahead. You have to really monitor like which one raised a lot, their tokenomics, but it's easy because it is actually accessible. It's all public information. I found all these through Google, and you can put your money in. You don't have to, as long as you learn how to use Polkadot.js, you know how to buy dot, you know how to stake, you know how to use a wallet, you did the number, Here. And here we go. Yeah, we're good. We're back. Should be back at least. Okay, so yeah. Thanks for the tip. And wow, there's still 50 people here, just like, just chilling, even though there was no sound. Yeah, but yeah, appreciate them, guys. Yeah, so let me do some questions, see if anything was unclear. RMRK, very interested in LC dot on Akala, cool. Moonbeam, how do I draw crowd loans? How many dot do I need? You don't need a minimum requirement. There is no minimum. Or okay, minimum 501. Yeah, so very, very tiny, like $100 you can join. So what is the link? That way I can join the waitlist. Google it. Like if you cannot Google, you will not get the numbers. So yeah, for your sake, just Google it. What's up with Spirit and Spell? I mean, market's taking a dump. It is what it is. I still hold both, but like I cannot tell you. Nothing has gone wrong, but a lot of the short-term DeFi plays have got their liquidity drained by the Bitcoin pump. So yeah, I don't quite understand the LC dot liquid staking and what was good about it. Well, so when you put your dot into what's it called, the crowd loans, let's say you put 100 dot into Akala crowd loan, it will be locked for 2 years, and you only get Akala tokens like first, and then like over every weeks, and then you can only transfer that dot once 2 year comes to an end. But with the LC dot liquid, like that version, you put a dot in, that dot is technically still locked, but they give you this like voucher token that you can use to redeem your locked dot in 2 years. And throughout that period, before then, you can also trade it. And because there's that linkage, it most likely will trade similar to DOT's price. So you can free up your money to put it into other crowd loans or use that to buy stuff. So that's a big plus, right? Versus like having that DOT locked up. Would you invest in Moonbeam without liquid DOT? Not sure. Maybe. I think they will try to come up with something. Yeah. Maybe. It also depends on the tokenomics, right? If Moonbeam tokenomics is just that much better than Akala, then yeah. But that's a numbers game. So what's best dot wallet? Polkadot.js. Yeah, that's what I use. Okay, let's see YouTube questions. Let's see here. Moon River. Yeah, see, people that don't understand how this works are like, oh yeah, dot parachains, let's go into Moon River. But if you did the numbers, you understand that like in 2 months, by doing the Moonbeam or Akala crowd loans, pretty much guarantee 2x. Like right out of the gate, you get your money back. In Akala, you get your dot back. And over time, you get more and more Akala. Like that's way better than buying Moon River right now. You know, a highly down Moon River is going to outperform DOT for the next month because people will want to be in the crowd loans. So they need DOT. They don't need Moon River. So you really have to learn like how this works. When would you recommend to buy DOT? Like, have you bought? Yeah, I bought, but you know, like that's not the whole point. Like, yeah. I see a bunch of questions. Yeah, but this is from earlier. Okay. Would LC dot trade at the same price as dot? Probably, yeah. If you look at like staked Ether on Ethereum for Ethereum 2.0, like there's Anchor ETH, there's ST ETH, those trade at similar levels as ETH. Obviously, those have income. So that's, yeah. So I think LC dot will probably trade a little bit less than dot price. But probably wouldn't be too different. Yeah, I would say. $45 dot today. Yeah, I mean like $100 dot next month. Like that's I think pretty conservative. I don't know why like we would bother like talking about the short-term price levels anymore. I am stuck in ICP and I'm down 300%. Need your suggestion when not to exit it. No comment, man. Like, what am I supposed to do? I cannot save you. I'm not a genius. Like, you can sell now and it will pump tomorrow, or you don't sell today and it drops another 100% tomorrow. How am I supposed to know? So, like, how is that a good question? I cannot help you. If I were in that scenario, I wouldn't know what to do either. So, yeah, like, how did you get yourself into that scenario in the first place? Sound not working, no volume. Is sound back? Sound should be back, right? Where do you get the liquid dot from? You will get it from Akala. Akala will issue that to your Polkadot wallet. There wasn't any turbo alpha. It's just like kind of a summary of like why these crowd loans are so good, because they're very liquid, they're big market cap plays, and there's no like barrier to entry that you need to know some people, or you need to be lucky in a whitelist, or you need to have a lot of money, right? Or like it's high lockup, or the tokenomics are unclear. It's none of that. It's all very clear. And it's huge races, so anyone can get in, but you know the valuations will also be high, and you have a benchmark based on Moon River. So are there KSM auctions to look into as well? Probably not right now. So I don't think they will ladder the KSM like third batch with the dot first two batches. I highly doubt it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. What's the dot glimmer reward ratio you think? We already went through it. There's not a set reward ratio. We know they're releasing 15% of the supply, around that. So it depends on how much money they raise. If they raise $1 billion, it's billion divided by 150 million. If they raise $150 million, it's 150 million divided by 150 million, right? So really varies. It's a varying ratio depending on how much they raise. Obviously, they could put a cap on it, but they didn't put any caps on the Kusama side, so I don't know. So you're saying Moonbeam will give us a 2.5x return before any pump from demand in the market? You should just rewatch this video. Like, I explained perfectly well what I was saying. So yeah, I'm only going to give you that because we don't know the specific numbers yet, but chances are if they don't get super hyped, then yeah, it'll be good returns. But numbers are very clear, so that question is pretty, like, I'm not gonna answer that. That's pretty. It just shows like you didn't understand numbers. You need me to tell you like you buy today, you'll 2.5x. That I cannot tell you because it's still varying, but cannot be clearer than that. Do you think the other crowd loans will follow the liquid idea that Akala is doing? They will try to follow, but I don't think all of them will do it. I know Bifrost will do it because Bifrost already did it for Kusama. I don't know who else is going to do it. We know Akala is doing it. It's definitely a good idea, but I don't know who else is going to do it. Right? No idea. I hope they do. I think it's a good thing, but I don't know who's going to do it. So, by how much they raise, do you mean how much dot people will lock into the crowd loan? Yes. How much dot and the dollar value that represents. Yeah. Expected market cap for Kilt on Kusama? I don't know. That's just another that's just another question of price prediction, and I don't know. And Kilt was pretty bad, to be honest. Like Kilt only released like 1.5% of their supply, so the total diluted market cap is not going to be higher than Moon River. Yeah, that I can say. Yeah, maybe, but it's going to be very high inflation if they do. Hold on. Okay, just a couple more questions and then I'm out. November will be nuts. How about beer bacon bits? We can do that. Do that for fun. Bacon strips, banana pancakes. Probably gonna overexpose myself. Thinking of doing 80% portfolio towards the ecosystem. I wouldn't do that much in the ecosystem play actually, but I probably will do at least 50% of my portfolio into overall crowd loans, if not more. Yeah. Because it's actually very low risk. Like for the level of projects you're getting into, like these projects, if they get hacked, if they fuck up, like the chance of that is so low because it took so long. Their backers, they've done so much research and so much DD and so much funding into it, so much checking that the process, the code, the economics, the law around it, the listing, it's the overall risk is so much lower. Not saying price is low, is like downside is limited. Obviously, if crowd loans raise $1 billion, like yeah, you're getting a like $10 billion valuation. Then you probably should reconsider because there's a lot of downside for the thought you lock up. You might not get much of that back in terms of the tokens you get. But as long as they don't raise super hyped amounts, even the price downside is quite limited. So the risk is quite low, and that's why I'm putting definitely a significant amount of my portfolio into these, very large amount. What is the risk to reward ratio for locked in DOT versus the token that we would get after the auctions? This is literally varying for all 11 based on how much they're releasing, how much they can raise, and if they have some sort of unlock mechanism early. I cannot give you an answer. There's not even a range. So like just cannot. You have to do the math. I explained how I did the math. I will continue updating. I'll share a spreadsheet when the numbers are actually there. But you cannot just say, oh, I do crowd loans because like I only risk 30%. Like that's not it. That's not how it works. So another good question on YouTube actually. Can we estimate the circulating supply of Moonbeam? Yeah, so at day one, right, they have 17.5 plus about 26%, 25% out for parachains. Actually, not day one. Day one will only be the parachains that are out. So the 15% times 30% that are unlocked. So that's about like 4.5, 5%, let's say. And then after 40 days, the take flight amounts will be unlocked. So that's another 9.8%, let's say 10%. So at launch, probably only around 50 million tokens, 5%. And then after 1 month, there will be probably 150, maybe like 200 million, if there's any private sale unlocks. I know I got cut off in the I'll share screen again here in Discord. Yeah. So that's about an estimate. Will you go into climate out? Depending on valuation. Yeah, so they are launching on October 18th, which is about 5 days. If they release like close to $100 million, that would be a good valuation. So I would go in, but really depends on valuation at launch. Do we have a date on when the first parachain winner will live trading? Yeah, so it will probably be Akala or Moonbeam for the first parachain winner. maybe Astar, but probably Akala and Moonbeam. And you have to stay tuned for their individual announcements for when they will list the token, if it were like right after they win or when the parachains go live. So the parachains go live December 2nd week, while the winners will be like November 18th. So I would say earliest will be November 18th. Latest will be December 18th. So between November 18th and December, I'm not even sure. I think it's like 14th or 18th or something. So between November 18th and December 2nd week, they will list, most likely. Specifics will depend on their announcement. Will they inform before how much mil they will raise? It's not up to them. I highly doubt there will be a cap. There wasn't a cap for their Kusama branches, so if they do any cap, that would be good to know, but I don't know. If they do a cap, that would be really good, because it would look really bad if they say, oh, we cap it at $300 million. Like, that's such a high number that if they expected that like they can raise $300 million, they wouldn't put a cap there. They would just say, okay, let's do uncapped. Because like, oh, sorry guys, we only can take $300 million. Like, imagine how pissed people would be. So, so yeah, that's probably why I think if they want to raise a lot, they wouldn't put a high cap. If they do put a cap, it'll probably be less than 150 million, maybe 100. So that like it has to play into their favor, right? They have to say like, oh yeah, we have a cap, so that like, oh, it doesn't get too hyped. And they have to word it well. Otherwise, who would say like, oh, we have $1 billion cap? Like, oh, sorry guys, we can only raise like take $1 billion. Like, that sounds so bad. So yeah, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't make that kind of announcement. How do you monitor the amount raised? Someone on Discord says. So you can go on parachains.info or Subscan. Yeah, Thought Market Cap is another good website. These will all track it once they go live. Do we know which date Moonbeam will go live for crowdloan? We don't know. Actually, we do know. November 11th, right? So they will try to compete for the first and second slots. Yeah. Our market thoughts, it's good. It's the leading like NFT protocol / marketplace on Polkadot Kusama. It's good project. So the parachain auction will take 1 week, and we will need to follow so they don't raise like 1 billion. Yeah, that's it. Each one will take 1 week, and then first winner will be first week, second winner will be second week, etc., etc. So you need to follow constantly. Yes. You have a good estimate as well as to like, okay, can they raise a little bit more, or like, is it done? Okay, so I think that's about it for questions across YouTube and Discord. Yeah, the listings might be smack bang in the middle of the bull market. Yeah, that's a good. It will be. I think they're at a really, really good timing. So before I had a bit of doubt, because if like because I know some whitelists for the crowdloan, for the Equilibrium crowdloan, they said they close at October 31st. So I thought, okay, if they don't even make the announcement today, and then they delay the announcement to like November, then they'll probably need like a month to prepare for the hype to come up. So then like if they announce November 1st, they like start December 1st, then they might be bad, because like it'll be really difficult to organize people around Christmas time to work on this. So that's one concern that I had before, that if they want to push this out, they really have to be fast and capture this like Q4 momentum, and they did. Like I'm so glad that they're pushing this. Like this is a great time. Month of November, like first half of November till like second half of December before Christmas, like so that like it's not a technical debt that engineers have to like all these people have to stay overtime during Christmas to participate. They like delayed that, right? Because like the second batch, right, they will finish the first batch before Christmas, and they will start the second batch like right after Christmas. This is brilliant design. This is the way they should have done it, because they like avoid people having to stay overtime like for Christmas and New Year's, so that they can capture all the hype while like not running into like weird situations. This is great design, great schedule. So really love that as well. Yeah. When you mentioned PSwap the other day, I was curious how high you see it going and if you have bag. I have bag. I don't have price estimate. I never have price estimate. Yeah. It's just like, it's just what it is. I think it's at like 250 million market cap right now, right? So as Polkadot, as Kusama, especially as Sora network takes up, as more and more trading will happen with these parachain tokens that will need native dexes to trade on, like Uniswap, it will be good. But like I cannot give you like, oh, next month it'll 4x. Like that's, I don't know. But it's a good bet because it is one of the native dexes on there. Yeah, and we do have a PSwap quest. If you want to go on the Bacon.DAO website, I see Lions that really wants me to talk about this. If you go on the bacondao.com/quests, we actually partnered with one of the leading educational communities in Polkadot called Polkadot Community Collective, and they put together a bunch of PSwap tokens, and we put together some Bacon tokens to let people onboard people into the Polkadot ecosystem. So in here, in this like quest, is kind of similar to a Akala quest, actually, like very similar by design. We'll teach you like how to set up your Polkadot.js wallet, how to use the PolkaSwap DEX, how to trade on there for Polkadot kind of tokens, how to bridge assets. So this will really help you like not only get into crowd loans, but also as more and more projects launch in Polkadot ecosystem, they will list on the DEX, and then you'll have a place to trade it. And like it's free, it onboards you, and you can earn. The total prize pool is $7,500 in PSwap tokens and in Bacon tokens. So definitely check this out. Bacondao.com/quests. Yeah, so this is a really good campaign that we're doing. And Lions from Bacondao, you put together all the tutorial videos here. So you can, even if you just want to set up like your Polkadot.js wallet, you can follow these tutorials. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the top prize will be $2,000. I didn't know that. That's big. Do we need to subscribe in order to participate in a crowd loan, or can everyone just take part without having to confirm? You don't have to confirm. If you join early for waitlist, you get extra bonus amount. So that's why. Any idea if Kraken will take some percentage? Yes. All the exchanges will give you an easy way to participate, but they will take some amounts. Yes. But here's the thing. Some exchanges like Binance, they might allow you to put your DOT in, but actually have like a B DOT, possibly, so that they allow you to like put a DOT into the crowd loan. They take a large fee, but you unlock your DOT early and trade it on Binance. They did this for staked ETH. They did this for Ethereum 2.0 staking. So they might do it for Polkadot crowd loans as well. How will you allocate your DOT to ensure some left unlocked for a second batch of auctions after Christmas? I'm treating this as kind of, if anything is really that good, like that undervalued, I'll just put it all into one, like and skip the second batch. It really depends on the tokenomics. But if second round has some that's really good tokenomics that I want to like employ the power rule, first round I get in and then like get some money back, put in the second round. That's another thing to consider is if I put it into first round and it lists before the second round starts, then I can sell that and put it into second round, right? Or If it's one like Akala that has the liquid version, then I can put into Akala first round. I get the Akala, I get the liquid dot, I sell that or 4 dot, and I put it in the second round. If there's any good in the second round, assuming, right? So I don't think there's any conflicts there. It really still is just like whichever one in the first round that's the best in terms of return, I'll just do it. I'll put like pretty much all the amount that I want to put in, and then like wait till it starts trading, sell it, like the initial, recoup the initial investment, put that into second round. I don't think there's much conflict there. Yeah. So I'm not gonna save like extra amount for second batch. I don't know. That's like the schedule makes sense. First rounds will be listed before second round start, is what I'm saying. You have 20K worth of DOT and RMRK. Do you think DOT is still a good buy? Yeah. DOT is still a good buy. Yeah. Very rarely I say that outright, but yeah, DOT is a good buy right now. So I will say it this time. Obviously, you can drop to like 37 and like drop 10%. Don't come blaming me. Oh, look, it dropped 10%. Like, come back in a month. It'll probably be $100. So, yeah, don't ask me if it drops 10% just because you bought here. Because just zoom out a little bit. See the bigger picture, and the bigger picture isn't even like 10 years or 5 years. It's like 1 month. So, bigger picture is only 1 month. So, yeah, that's why I can say it's a good buy right now. Okay. I think that's about it. It's like a super long stream already for today, but really, really excited for this. I will try to have stuff ready for Astar, Bifrost, and what's the other one? I forgot what the other, Fala, right? Those crowd loans. I'll try to have those ready to present you guys next stream on Friday. And then, yeah, join again. And I'll see you then. Before that, thanks guys for joining in. I hope this has been useful. I see a lot of people were here today, so appreciate that. Recognize and seize this opportunity and really try to understand it. Yeah, and this replay will be live on my YouTube, so subscribe there and see it and walk through it as you please. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for joining. Talk to you guys later. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, same time. See you Friday for more Polkadot crowdloan stuff. Link in my bio. Join our Discord as well if you want to ask other contributors of ours for Polkadot related questions. Okay. Thank you again. See you on Friday. Bye-bye.